What's going on, you guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and welcome to the video. In this video, we're talking all about the moves in the markets. Mindmed had a big red day today, so I'm excited to talk about that and why I think it's actually a good thing. We're also talking about gold and silver, as gold and silver are shining ahead of the Fed meeting. Super excited about that, and as we know on this channel, I've been positioning myself for this. So we've got a lot of green in the gold and silver sector offsetting the losses in Mindmed, and we're going to be talking strategy in this video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get straight into the video, and last but not least, I wanted to say thank you for the likes, comments. We've gotten a lot more engagement, you could say, on both of these channels over the last couple of weeks, so I appreciate it. Let's keep it going, guys. And with that being said, if you do support me, the channel and all the videos, then kindly explode that like button. It takes just 1 second of your time, and it helps my videos so very much, along with cashing that subscribe button and the market bell for notifications for future videos, if you do appreciate the videos that I make. And let's get straight into it. So the first thing I wanted to say was, yesterday we dropped a video on Departures stocks talking all about Mindmed, and we've been doing a lot of coverage on Mindmed on that channel. Today I will be dropping a psychedelic sector update, not just Mindmed, all the other companies. You guys seem to really like that video that I posted, or that I dropped on the channel, just a couple days ago. So I'll do a full sector update, how I'm positioning myself for this sector. And Departure Stocks is already at 2.14K subscribers. So let's keep this channel growing, guys. Maybe it's a new channel, it's more favorable in the algorithm, but it's been growing way faster than Departures Capital. So let's keep it up. Tune in, subscribe to the new channel. It's the first link down below in the description. So Departures Capital, we dropped a video, an interview actually this morning. We premiered it, so let me know if you like premieres. I don't know, not everyone can make it there at 9 a.m., but I'm going to start premiering a few more videos. I will premiere an interview tomorrow with James from Extra Gold. We've got a full update. He's back from Ghana. Very exciting news, and we should have some drill results on the way too for Extra Gold. So things, heating back up in the gold sector, and let's hope that gold can hold, because I think we could be in for another leg up in the gold market, and that's, like I said, what I've been positioning myself for. Psychedelics, gold and silver stocks, a few other growth plays. That's pretty much my strategy. So check out the interview if you didn't get a chance yet, or you're just getting off work and this is the first video you're watching. You want those Mindmed updates. But anyways, guys, let's get into comment of the day. And Justin, I haven't watched in a while. I've been trying to get over a bad play. Congrats on Mindmed call. Get it. And in terms of Mindmed, I want to update you guys, as I did make a move when it comes to Mindmed. We'll tell you later on in this video exactly what I did in terms of what I did. So how long do you plan on holding Mindmed? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? That's a great question. I do have a long-term approach to Mindmed. I will address the profit-taking question when we get onto the NASDAQ, if we get onto the NASDAQ. For now, just, simply watching it, seeing how it goes, and being strategic when it comes to adding. Sitting and watching, looking for the trapdoors to open. Ray door. What's going on, man? Obligation football. Yes, my daily dose for Mindmed and other great stocks. Be cool. It was really tempting to sell a couple thousand shares early during the frenzy and repurchase later, but did not. Andrew Felger, still believe gold's still dropping, man. I know I say it on all your videos, but I'm a huge gold bull still, and that's what I'd love to see, Andrew. And it was a very nice day today. Gotta be super happy. Steve TV, buying Mindmed on the dips, waiting for the NASDAQ, and that's pretty much my strategy. So crazy day for Mindmed. That was yesterday, up 595% from 60 cents. Thanks, Aaron. We're not up as much anymore, but still looking pretty good, especially if you're in at 60 cents. Can't really complain. Jaguar Mining. Jag, I think that's a fantastic stock. Massive Sprott ownership, and that was one stock on my watch list that I didn't end up buying. Daniel Pronk brought it to my attention, but didn't end up buying it. Would still consider buying it. Pays a fantastic dividend. So anyways, guys, let's get into the market news. And stimulus was pretty much, or stimulus speculation in the upcoming Fed meeting was pretty much the talk of the town today. So the Dow climbs as lawmakers to meet in final push for stimulus deal. So let's get that stimulus, guys. And the commodity markets definitely reflected that they think that stimulus is going to happen, because we saw gold at 1857, silver at 2460, up 2.42%. Gold is up 1.39%. I think that it's going to happen, so that's why I've been positioning myself, and anything under 1850 for me for gold, I've just been buying up gold equities and not selling a single one. So I'm excited to see what happens in 2021. It's going to be an exciting time. So U.S. and not just gold equities, gold and silver equities. So U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi reportedly invited key congressional leaders, including Senate Majority Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, and House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to a meeting on Tuesday in a bid to reach an agreement on a stimulus and spending plan. So it's a $908 billion stimulus bill with two parts. We're not going to get too much into that, but long story short, let's get this thing passed and let's watch gold and silver fly, along with the markets. The markets are pretty happy when it comes to this, and I think we're going to get a big pop in the equity indexes and in the precious metals when we get that stimulus. If we get that stimulus, fingers crossed, I think we're going to see the Dow go to 32,000, 34,000, something like that. But anyways, it was a very, very green day for gold. Super happy to see it. It's looking like we're attempting another push to 1900. I would really love to see gold get back above 1900 and then, repair these charts. They've been pretty shaky over the last little while, especially dropping to 1776. I was, of course, buying all the way down, and I made that clear in all of my videos. My bullishness on gold. Now, this is one big bet, you could say, and I hope it pays off like Mindmed. Mindmed was, it took me months for that thing to finally gain some traction, and I just kept my money in there. Gold and silver, I think it's not just going to happen overnight either. We're seeing some positive signs. Silver is up 2.52%, and I do have a lot of awesome articles from Kitco, more bullishness. So let's talk about these articles. We'll also talk about the Mindmed news a little bit later on in this video, so use the timestamps if you want to skip specifically to sections in this video that you've tuned in here for. If you're in for the gold stocks, great. If you're here to learn a little bit about my strategy when it comes to Mindmed, skip to that. You want to hear the news from Mindmed, my opinion on the whole bot deal. If you want to hear my opinion on the $50 million capital raise that they just announced yesterday, we'll be talking all about that stuff, and we'll be talking more about that also on Departures Stocks. So that's what Departures Stocks is for. Specific content that I didn't have a chance to talk about in this video because it's hard to cover every topic all at once. So let's see what Commerce Bank has to say. Silver price to rally 30% in 2021 as industrial demand bounces back. So this is what I love to see. I like silver because it's in a really unique spot right now with production declining, with demand increasing. And it's getting that industrial bid, it's getting that safe haven bid. I think that silver is probably going to be the star metal next year. Might even probably will outperform gold. That's why about 65% of the new positions I've been taking were silver companies as opposed to gold companies. But I was going more into gold before than I was into silver, so essentially evening itself out. But I would say my positioning is probably 60% silver and 40% gold. So while gold will continue to attract a lot of attention in 2021 as prices are expected to reach all-time highs, analysts at Commerce Bank are suggesting that investors should keep their eyes on silver. Looking at prices, Commerce Bank sees silver averaging the year around $26.50 an ounce. Prices are expected to peak around $32 an ounce by the fourth quarter of 2021. That's a 30% gain. The arguments for silver increase in the price are, in our opinion, overwhelming. The flood of cheap money is likely to lift not only gold but silver. In addition, still has catch-up potential compared to gold. Recovery of the economy should also boost industrial demand. We therefore expect silver to resume its upward trend. So, safe haven demand, industrial demand. I like silver for 2021. 2020 was just the start. Commerce Bank sees gold prices rising to $2,300 in Q4 of 2021. So they have a very bullish tone on gold for the next year, and I would be happy with that. I mean, I'd be happy with $2,000 gold because at $2,000 gold, the valuation of all of the exploration companies that I've invested in are going to increase, and then if they hit a nice deposit, it's just going to be icing on the cake. So after a sharp fall from August all-time highs, the gold market has struggled to find new buying momentum, and we've seen this. It's been trading around 1850. Let's see what Commerce Bank had to say. So we do not expect a change in the ultra-expansionary monetary and fiscal policy despite the upcoming vaccinations. Instead, governments and central banks will continue to be required to cushion the negative effects of anti-global illness measures on the economy and society. If the necessary fiscal stimulus measures are not adopted in time due to resistance in the legislative process, pressure on central banks to step in to the breach will further with further easing measures would increase. So I think it's a win-win for the precious metals. Rick Rule just dropped a really nice interview on Kitco, so take a look at that. In the short term, the resistance of fear caused gold to sell off from its August high of $2,000 an ounce, but long term, the metal is still in a secular bull market, Rick Rule said. So another thing that he said throughout this interview, I believe it was the lack of gold reserves. So that should mean, you know, a lot of these smaller cap exploration companies, especially with ounces in the ground, should make some pretty good money. Hopefully their valuations increase, and they could in fact get bought out as well. Which is why Extra Gold, I know that, you know, they're one of only a couple companies in Ghana, could come into the crosshairs of one of the majors as an acquisition target. And if they keep producing good drill results, it should be exciting. So tune in tomorrow at 9 for that interview with James from Extra Gold. Silver price outperforms gold as precious metals rally. So commentary on the day, and this is the second last article from Kitco. We've got a few more things to talk about, and then at the end of this video I'll talk about some trades I made, my favorite stocks, Mindmed, all that good stuff. Silver doubled gold's performance, rising more than 2%. Gold recovered, but outperformed by silver. Silver has risen twice as sharply as gold today. As a result, gold and silver ratio dropped to 76, lowest level since the beginning of the month. But I do feel like that could drop a bit more. So let's see what CNBC has to say about the Fed meeting on Wednesday. The Fed is expected to release a new outlook for the economy, which is expected to be improved in the longer term because of the availability of vaccines. The Fed is expected to sound very dovish at the end of its Wednesday meeting. But the bond market could have a bumpy reaction depending on what the central bank says about bond buying program. Some investors expect the Fed to change the duration of bonds it is buying, but others expect it to detail guidelines it will use to make changes to the program. So 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I expect heavy volatility in the stock markets and especially in the precious metals sector. So I'm positioned on the long side. Obviously, you guys know this, and I'm excited to watch and see what happens. But yeah. Gold could hit a new high in 2021, says Australian bank ANZ. And this is just a headline. You know, this is for CNBC Pro, but I'm not paying for that. Sorry, CNBC. But let's just read the headline. So gold has soared this year as economic uncertainty pushed investors into safer assets. And one Australian bank this week identified a new possible high for the metal in 2021. So I'm sure you can find that somewhere else. Dollar hovers near 2-year lows as U.S. stimulus Fed meeting emboldened investors. So we're not going to read that whole thing, but I do want to take a look at the DXY. Let's see what happened to the US dollar today, guys. The US dollar is down another 0.28% to 90.46 as it continues to tank. Thanks, guys. I'm very much loving this weak US dollar environment, and one of the big banks did say that the US dollar could tank another 20% next year, so I wouldn't be surprised. I would be happy about that. I feel like we might find some support around 89 on the DXY, but that still indicates a little more downside to come. So very good. I'm happy about that. So now let's take a look at Mindmed. Mindmed did announce after the market closed yesterday a $50 million bought deal public offering, and a lot of people now are saying, why do they keep doing this? Why are they diluting the stock? And let's face it, guys, Mindmed is going to need a ton of money to do what they want to do. So this is the whole point, taking advantage of, you know, the rise in share price, the capital flowing into this sector. And the problem is when stocks go up too fast, you know, people might buy at 5, people might buy at 6. They think it's going to keep going. That, in my opinion, is the definition of a FOMO trade. And I haven't bought any shares in Mindmed from, I think the last time I bought it was at $2, and I just watched it run. So I like to buy based on, you know, what the institutions are doing. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't trade it. That means that doesn't mean that buying it above where the institutions did a financing round is a bad thing. I'm not giving financial advice. I'm talking about my strategy. So I saw this. I saw the way it traded today. I watched it go all the way down to 420, picked up 1,000 shares. Now, my thoughts on this whole thing, it's good. I mean, Canaccord was willing to put $50 million in at $4.40 per share with warrants at $5.75 per share. And then even more significant, was the acceleration clause, I believe that's in here, at $9. So if the volume weighted average trading price of the company's subordinate voting shares on the NEO is greater than $9 for 5 days, they're able to, I believe it is, accelerate those warrants. And that's more than likely going to be 30 days from in written notice. So if they give written notice, the warrant holders have 30 days to exercise those $5.75 warrants. So by the looks of it, Mindmed is pretty confident in their share price. We saw what happened last time. They had the $4 escalation clause, and the stock's been trading well over $4 for the last little while. So, I mean, it makes it a volatile environment. I personally think that Mindmed needed to put a damper on this rally because it was getting way too out of control, way too fast. You know, it's amazing the amount of money that was created for some people. For anyone who's held long, you know, if you're in $1, $2, it's still a nice return. But I think what they're doing now is not, you know, to dilute shareholders, but it's to look forward into the future and finance their future initiatives, all these clinical trials that they've got going on. If you think that the $94 million that they've raised so far is going to cover it, I doubt that. And there's probably going to be many more capital raises in the future. So that's kind of the game we're playing, especially with a company that has no revenues and more than likely won't have any real revenues or profitability for many years to come. So that's kind of that's the type of company that we're investing into, or I'm investing into, or anyone else who is. So those are my thoughts. I will go more into detail on the departures stocks video. When it comes to Mindmed, my opinion on the sector, how Mindmed affected the sector, we'll save that for the other video. But I did want to comment on that in this video. And we'll talk about a few other companies now. So this week made a really nice swing trade. I was happy with this. Bought TAT at $3, sold it at $3.60, and it dropped 9.4% today. Now that was simply luck. I saw the charts for TAT, and I saw the stock peak around $4, pull back to $3. Looks like it was consolidating. I thought we could potentially run up to fresh all-time highs. Not to say it might not still happen. It definitely could still happen. But I saw opportunities elsewhere, so I wanted to take those profits on TAT for a quick little 20% gain. So that was a pretty good little trade on the week. Now let's take a look at Discovery Metals. Super happy with this, guys. You guys know I'm a big bull on Discovery Metals, showing more strength, and it tends to show really nice strength on green days. So up 9.5%. This was hands down the biggest position recently that I've taken in any stock last week. Loaded up a bunch around $1.70, $1.80 when we dropped all the way down. We were briefly in the $1.70 range over the last little pullback. I believe I got a couple shares around $1.78 or whatever, something like that. But yeah, it's nice to see Discovery Metals running. Very happy about that. And for some reason, we can't get Gatos Silver on this investing.com, but Gatos Silver running another 2.98% today. So it's had a tremendous run since I started picking up shares in the $8, $9 range. So I was picking up shares in the $8, $9 range. We're already at $11.40. So the stock's up 25%. So super happy with that one. Let's take a look at a few other companies, a few other silver runners. Silver One had a really great close today. I was impressed because I saw Silver One trading flat, and then out of nowhere, right at the end of the day, someone decided to buy some shares, I guess. So we closed up 6.78%. Now this is one that I'm pretty much even on now, but I think that they should do well. Let's talk about a few other companies. Kirkland Lake Gold had a pretty nice run for a large cap, up 4.4%. Although Kirkland Lake did dip to $49 per share. I think Kirkland Lake looks pretty cheap right now for a large cap. CloudMD is another one that I've been watching and investing in very closely, and it's nice to see it putting in some strong gains today, up 8.21%. These healthcare tech stocks, telemedicine stocks, I feel like they're getting to the point where they're a little undervalued now, or at least they've pulled back enough to justify taking a position. And as we can see here, we've bounced off $2 twice. So I've been very happy to be able to pick this up at $2. I've seen CloudMD run like crazy. This has been one of the stocks that we've had the pleasure of covering its tremendous rise. And at $2, it's worth 330 million or 339 million. But I'm excited for the future of telemedicine. We'll just say that. And last but not least, guys, Aftermath Silver announced that they have brought to the market their NI 43-101 updated resource estimate report, and it's up 3.6%. This was one stock that I made a video about, I believe it was a week or so ago. I was picking up shares around $1. So we're up 15% so far. And this is what I like, I like when I've already got maybe like a 10 to 15% cushion in terms of share price, like when it's gone up 10 to 15%, then I'm, comfortable with sitting on this position, waiting for the precious metals to run. But the chart for Aftermath Silver is quite spectacular. 12 cents to $1.15. So if you guys want to talk about gains, I mean, I know this is early 2021. This is March and April when prices dip, but Aftermath Silver traded for 9 cents. Now we're at $1.15. That's like 12x returns. So, and it's only $151 million market cap. So crazy, some of these companies. I mean, and they could keep on running very well. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video. We're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. Tune into Departure Stocks for the updated coverage on the psychedelic sector, and we're out of here. Always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you make your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. We'll see you guys in our next video.